This was supposed to be done in Google cultural event tomorrow.
Yeah, initially. Firstly, our condolences to our my co-host. Obviously, that's why he also couldn't be here today. But nonetheless, we continue, and today is another banging episode of Chow Life, a special episode of the Chow Life podcast. I got my nigga Gold with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself at some point, but this is one of the executives of Chow Life. So this will definitely be, if not the best, at least one of the special episodes of Chow Life, a special episode. So yeah, this is my nigga Gold. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Chow Life.
Yeah, what's up, I say? Let's the truth unfold. We're feeding the youth straight from the soul. It's your boy Gold, breaking the mold. What's up?
No. Once again, we're gonna send out our thanks and appreciations to each and every person that supported the last podcast. We dropped episode 2 yesterday, so you see the consistency. We're gonna try to keep the consistency there. So the second episode is up. We're getting more subscribers, more likes every day, so we appreciate that. Today we have quite a few things to talk about. Quite a few things. We have a few topics. What do you want to start with? What are we starting with?
Today is Friday, right?
Today is Friday. This is like a thing. Friday seems to be the day we record.
Unfortunately, Friday is not my favorite day of the week.
Nah?
Nah.
Oh yeah. Favorite day of the week. Nah. Yeah, I feel like that's something that's definitely common. I feel like, oh, by the way, we have supporters in the building. So shout out to them for being here. But I definitely think that everybody has their favorite day of the week. So I personally feel like Wednesday is my favorite day of the week.
Why? Why Wednesday?
I don't know. Like, I feel like on a Wednesday is kind of like the middle of the week, so to speak. I feel like it's a nice balance. Like Monday is too much of like, just after the weekend, or like you're back to stuff. Like, it's too hectic on a Monday. Tuesday is just random, bruh. Tuesday is random. But Wednesday, you start to get into the flow of the week, start to get that motion. And then also, the week is almost done. So it's a good place to track. Because like if Wednesday is the middle of the week, you can track how much you've done Monday and Tuesday. And then with that, you can also see how much you still need to do, let's say Thursday and Friday. Obviously, as we keep working no matter what. But it's a good way to track your process. So definitely Wednesday. But I don't think I have a day of the week that isn't my favorite. Why Friday? Why isn't Friday your favorite?
I mean, Friday is so overrated, number one.
Yeah.
So overrated. But I like Monday. I'm a bit of old school.
Nah.
Yeah.
Like a Monday.
Monday. You see, when you were saying on the Monday, it's a lot of buzz. Yes, I like the buzz.
Can I please get a cup?
I like the buzz.
Sorry. Shout out to our cameraman again. Sorry to break your word. Yeah. So Monday, crazy. Why?
Crazy. Because there's that buzz that you have to figure out everything. You need to set up everything. You see, I like that excitement of being responsible. You get. Yeah. And only once a week, and then throughout the days, just go with the flow, following the plan and the routine. That's I wanted to do this, and this is what I've achieved, and all this kind of thing. Hence, Friday is overrated to me because at the end of the day, on Friday, it's child life.
You
get.
I think that's a good segue into Feed the Youth, because like you mentioned old school, you mentioned child life on a Friday, things like that. Thank you so much. No, this is not alcohol, guys. Just by the way, that's also something that I'm gonna speak about. Going into this, but anyway, yeah. So Feed the Youth. I think it's a good segue into it because, like we said on the first episode of Chow Life, and I think it's good that I have an executive member with me, a director with me too, for us to really get into it, because Chow Life is about enjoying life. It's about celebrating life, but you have to get there. So you have to struggle, or we understand that it's a struggle, firstly, for young people. And I know that, like, because me personally, I also understand, like, how do you enjoy life when you're hungry, if you get what I mean. That's first out the gate, guys. And world hunger. I'm Chow Life. As Chow Life, we support the End World Hunger movement. We are gonna do our parts. So things like that, like how do you expect young people to enjoy life if we're hungry, if we're not educated, all these things. So that's why this is the official announcing. More follow on it. This is the official announcing of Feed the Youth. So Feed the Youth is a concept that Chow Life came up with in the sense that in order to enjoy life, you need to first be full, you need to be fed. And we really want this to be in a lot of different senses. So like I started just thinking about like actually feeding young people, going out into the communities, going to schools, kind of like what we have with Meal a Day, but you take that on a bigger scale. So that's the first layer, just feeding actual young people and then feeding them knowledge. I feel very fortunate to have completed my degree again, but also I feel very fortunate to have gone to getting the chance to study, which a lot of young people haven't gotten.
So now, what do you think? So you think that what are we lacking? Like, what is the primary focus
What
of
we
it?
need to be fed.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah, be fed in the sense that they're given food or they're given resources, rather put it like that. They're given resources to be able to uplift themselves, right? Cool, but there are those programs, and now they are being exploited because what do we always say when there's a crisis? There's that fat politician or billionaire or businessman that benefits from the crisis. You get so. In what way or how do you plan to implement the Feed the Youth in a sense that it's different? Because there are programs. Genuinely there are. You see, and also, what do you think about the education system or the approach that it's given to us through education and all those kind of things? Because by the way, shout out to him. Honors. I wasn't there to congratulate him, but yeah, it's like you've gotten that far. It's your career now. I'd like to think it's your honor. So you are a professional commentator in politics right now. Professionally, so I can call you an analyst. So now, how do you think education? Because at the end of the day, we need education. We need education. We need to be educated. We need knowledge.
That's also feeding. Like that's a different type of food. Yes.
For example, you see that concept of libraries.
Yes.
That concept of libraries was very advanced in the sense that you don't have to go and be taught, because being taught, it means like they're simplifying, they're making it easier for you, but like there are people who go to libraries to just feed themselves with the information.
That's interesting that you say that.
They feed themselves with that information and they use it. Because we always ask ourselves, like, why don't we have those extraordinary sciences? I'm not saying they aren't extraordinary sciences, but like those extraordinary sciences, the Einsteins that break the serious boundaries and all those kind of things. And also, why are we not taught about the black sciences that we have, or our South African science, taught about them, where they come from, where they are, the history, and all those kind of things, but the Feed the Youth, I like it because I feel like the youth is, what do they say in English, disillusioned.
Yes, disillusioned, empathetic, like indifference is also common terms. Funny you say that.
Easy.
So now that you say that, right, you see, with Feed the Youth now, the whole reason for this, so I'm glad you also touched on politics. We'll get into politics, but like with politics, I always say that there's a lot of issues in the world. Like there's a lot of different political issues now, so you can't really solve all of them, so you have to pick your battle. So one of my things is youth involvement, youth participation, because I don't know, there's this thing that people assume that young people aren't interested in politics, so they don't care about what's happening in the world, but a lot of the time that's not true. It's just that they've been cut out a lot of the time, and that demotivates a person from wanting to be involved, because eventually when you keep getting locked out of something that you want to participate in, You start to not care about it.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't represent you.
Yeah, so with Feed the Youth, one of the things that Feed the Youth is trying to do is to get the youth involved. So basically, Feed the Youth and Chow Life links because you first need to get fed. Once you get fed, you grow, and then you can enjoy life. So on the notes of Feed the Youth, I'm glad you asked how is it going to be different, because that's something that I think is important. Like, there's a lot of things that have been put in place before, a lot of things that have been tried. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. So firstly, how it will be different is, I think what I really want is, I want to involve young people in the process of feeding other young people. So for instance, I'm coming from university, right? I want to go to high schools and matrics and grade 11s and help them apply for university. A lot of them don't know how to apply. A lot of them don't know what's required. So if young people can do these things, like even food parcels, nah, like even food parcels, for example, if it can be young people going there to give it, then it cuts out that old big guy at the top that wants to eat it. So even I feel like that's more of how Feed the Youth will be different. It'll be more of a grassroots implementation. So basically, I want to also connect young educated people, nah, or young people that are successful with these people. You see, even if Child Life would host like, because we've been at universities, we have those talks and stuff, people that are professionals that come to the school, all of that. So if you can get young people to, because like, I don't know, there's this conception that only old people are successful. I don't know where that comes from, but there are young people that have money, there are young people that have educated themselves, there's young people that are willing to give back to the community, but them themselves have learned that these programs and stuff have ulterior motives. So I think that's really how it's going to be different. We cut out the middleman. We use the people that are on our side, the people that are young, to help other young people, because that's also going to motivate and inspire young people more. On the notes of library, nah, sorry to stop you. On the notes of library and things like that, you see, that's also how we're going to feed the youth. Because I don't know if libraries are still as relevant as they were. I feel like library is kind of like the cinema now. Like, it's still there, but because like what I learned in being in honors now, once you've done honors, you're able to do research on your own. But all that means is you know how to research and you know how to conduct the stuff. So if people in high school can learn about Google Scholar and the tools and instruments to do things on their own, I think that can also change a lot, because there should be more, like, I know you get extra lessons now, for example, but you should have extra lessons that teach you something that you don't learn in school.
Yes.
Like, you should have extra lessons that are on financial literacy, for example, or like tax. Well, you see, that's in maths, but like for example, what do they always say? You're not taught how to manage money in high school, for example. So when you say extra lessons, it must be things that you don't ordinarily learn in the day. So even if it's not money related, but just life skills that aren't taught in school should be incorporated as extra lessons.
Yeah, like for example, it's a crisis, this thing of matriculants staying at home. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's the teachers who are not honest with the kids, or it's the parents who are not honest with the kids, or it's the kids who are not honest with themselves. You can't apply for nursing, knowing very well that you don't meet the requirements to study nursing. So I think that's what makes a lot of students or learners to stay at home, because they apply for courses that maybe they don't like, they are not sure about, they don't know what it means to be this. And I blame the professionals. Because
not educated.
yeah, I blame those professionals. Because like life orientation, those are those programs. In fact, that subject, it's the one that should
all of these things, yes, because life orientation is such a good concept. IT, yeah, because like
thinking the debits, building the credit score, like all those kind of things.
because even jobs, nah, like a lot of people don't know how many jobs,
how to
this
write a
CV until it's like, if you know that in high school, you can go for, I won't lie. Because by the time you actually need to apply, you've edited and worked it and all of these things.
All the necessary documents. You know that you must know your email address. You must know your ID number by head. All those kind of things. Because most of us learn these things when you are here, when you realize, Now I have to take my life.
And you kind of
seriously.
get behind. Because also, I think it's also that a lot of the people before us only had to do that later on in life. So they just like go to school. Because I think historically, getting an education was the main thing. Like go to school, nah? So old people aren't really thinking about how well school aligns with life. They just like go get educated. And
then
education, yeah.
Then the degree will get you a
Get a
job,
job,
and
like-
then you'll be
Like
fine.
there's a lot of extra things, but it's also hard to explain to an older person that a degree is not enough. You see what I'm saying? Like if me and you have a degree, it's not the degree that will determine me or you getting hired, because we qualify the same.
On that topic of degrees, like of course I sit in my room and think of my things myself. I always think like,
Oh, you have some shit written down. Also have some shit written down.
Yeah.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
So I'm like, guys, why don't we stop admitting students for certain degrees, for example?
What do you mean?
Because we have more than qualified people who don't have jobs. Why don't we stop admitting those people? Fix this issue, this backlog, and then we could. Secondly, I'm not saying any cause, like other causes are not serious, but looking at the state of the country, the economy, what professions or what type of people do we need right now? Because remember, we can't rush this thing. This thing of us being the third world country and want to shoot to be the first world. No, guys. Like we need to produce first. We need to.
It's interesting that you say that, nah, because I'm drifting a bit from that, nah. I do get your point, nah. But what I want to say, listening to what you say now, nah, I'm just thinking like, you see, South Africa is very democratic, nah? And I feel like, okay, one of the things I also study and learn is like the theory of democracy, right? So you'll find that democracy in its purest form can't really work in a third world country, because you see what you suggesting is not the most democratic thing, because you're forcing people to kind of not do this type of career, and you forcing people to kind of do this other career, nah? But that also comes down to a lot of other factors, like how much do you care? Like some people don't care about the country, to be honest. So it'll be hard to explain to someone like my guy, no, we need people for this job to help the country. This person just wants to be a lawyer. They don't even know why, or they just want to be a doctor because they're like, no, I want to be a doctor. Even if you explain to them, there's no jobs for doctors. Because like you see people always apply and be like, yeah, I know there's no jobs here, but I'm going to get hired somehow. So,
You see, like you were saying, like just going back and what you said and linking it to this. Remember, when we were coming with this thing of fit the youth, looking at the campus level, we want to have,
But I really feel like we should start at like primary, high school, like grade 7 matric. I feel like the ends of all of these things are very important, because transitions are hard. So you must focus around the transition phases.
because we want a community that focus on issue-based approach. Leave the parties, the traditional parties, like first before you join them. Be that person that I wake up here in Bela. What is that I'm not satisfied with in Bela? Myself first. Before I say, in Bela they're killing us. Wait. What? Then you start the issue-based. What is the current issue that we are facing right now? So we must be conscious and active to that level that even if it's water is not political, guys. So what is not political? If we're having trouble of water, electricity, safety and all those things are not political. Like genuinely, if we're being honest, even in the constitution, those things are not political, are just needs. So being able to spot an issue, come with the solution and be active and act on that, I think that's a great start of being able to feed the youth. Inform them with it. Guys, this is how you approach a situation. You don't tatazel, you don't do this, you don't call those older people, because genuinely older people have their fair share of being able to deal with problems because of how they were conditioned, how they were taught, the situations at the time, and all those things. But now we're at the time where I feel like everything is at our disposal.
I feel like the youth is in a good position. We just need to learn how to capitalize on it.
Yes.
No, definitely. So even in that, like now to bring it to Chow Life now on this thing, I feel like it's very important. Like how do you find a Chow Life career? Cause like I feel like a career has to be something that you enjoy. So I feel like when it comes to work now, a lot of people have been brainwashed or molded by other people into doing certain things. Nah? So I feel like there should also be a way, like I don't know, there's certain tests you need to do to apply for certain jobs and stuff. So I feel like as young people, they should have something that pushes people. Like when you finish in high school, what I know they do have these around, but you really need to figure out a way to ask yourself, what do I enjoy doing? And that will guide your career path.
That's why I was going to that thing with it. I don't know who's who, what's the issue. It's the parents, it's the teachers, or it's the learners, or it's us. Because if you are real, you look at yourself, like again, what is the issue? First, this is the issue.
Yes.
So I would like to think that's what primary you'd be more passionate about, because it affects you. You want to change what you are feeling first, né? But then I guess you can shoot to the stars and do other things. That's not a problem. Dream big, young with black child. That's not a problem. But that's where you should start. That you look at your surroundings. What are you trying to change? Because when you are looking, it's the economy, unfortunately, that forces us, or in the system that.
Like everybody would probably want to be an artist, maybe, but in this economy, my brother, I don't think all of us should be aiming to push in certain career paths. Like, because that's another thing. Nah? I think this is a good segue into another thing that I had written down. Nah? So I titled it like the art of the process. Nah?
Okay.
So just like improvements, like. I saw something, and I saw a few things after that just speak about like the present moment, or like enjoying the journey of things. Like you hear people say that a lot, but like how I interpret that, like you really have to fall in love with the fact that every day you're getting closer to this thing. Because I feel as young people, the issue is the world seems to be moving so fast, and it is moving faster than before. So everyone is focused on the end goal. Right? And everyone as a young person, I feel like the youth of today are way more ambitious than the youths of the past, because we've seen that these things are possible now. Like, you can't tell me I can't be a millionaire. I've seen it. So the problem is, like, we all, as the youth, we're always chasing the end goal, but I really feel like you need to fall in love with getting better every day. So it also goes back to what you're saying, as that person, what are you unhappy with today? But how do you do that? Because I won't lie, it took me a long time. Like in first year, imagine, like first year, I'll never forget, like first year of university, after first semester of university, I only knew one person from back home, like Maritzburg, and even that person, I didn't know them from back home. I just randomly met them here, So that was the only person that I knew from back home. I remember like end of first semester, before I'm going home, I called them to my room, dog. I was having like a breakdown. I'm like, yo, I'm having a midlife crisis. My life is over. Like first semester, end of first semester of first year, dog. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna achieve this and that. It's because I knew that I wanted to come to UWC. I knew that I wanted to study here, but I also thought I knew for some reason how things and you see, so that's the mindset of a lot of young people. And the thing is, when you realize that this is not how things are going, it's there where you either fall in love with the process or crash out, because you must take that moment to be like, yo, okay, it's not going the way I thought it's going, but that doesn't mean that I'm not getting to where I want to get to. You see, so how do you have any inputs on how to fall in love with the process, what you do to just like steadily improve and accept that, okay, because everybody, as a young person, I know for a fact, everybody has a big goal. Some people will say they have an unrealistic goal. I don't think any goal is unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's just your major goal. A lot of people won't even tell you their major goal, because even them themselves, they're like, I won't say that one. But we all have that major goal, and we all know that there's a big space between there and where you are. So how do you just keep the process?
Firstly, I personally always comes to one thing. Right? At the end of the day, it's that thing that you wanted when you were 5 years old. For example, now you saw a beautiful car and say, when I grow up, I want that car. Now, it's not about the car. It's about you believing that I'll get that car. Nah? That's number one. Okay. Nah? And also,
I like that. Sorry to break your word, nah. Please don't forget your thought, nah. Because what helped me is, one day I just looked in the mirror, nah, and I realized that my hair is long. Like, I have long hair. And you see, when I was in primary school and high school, like, I always wanted long hair for some reason, nah. But my family is very like traditional. It's like, no, you must have a short hair, needs, what. So at one point in my life, dog, like, if you could ask me, like, if a genie could come and be like, whatever you want right now, I'd be like, I want long hair. Didn't think that I wanted money, what, I wanted long hair. And then I realized that I didn't even notice my hair is long. And then I realized, like, I have something that I always wanted. So that's what you mean by, like, a car 5 years old. I get
it's always goes on that. Then again, you're saying, how do you bridge that gap of that goal that you made and the reality? Simple. Like I said, it's not about the goal. It's not about what you said. It's about you, your inner child, believing that you will get it. Because at the end of the day, you can get whatever that you want as long as you put your money to it. Where there's a will, there's a way. I cage. Unless there's someone who's saying, no, you can't.
And even there, you can...
Of course. If it's destined for you. You see, because it's all goes down to...
Believe in destiny?
Yes.
Nah? Yes. Do you think destiny and purpose are two different things?
A man creates his own destiny, unfortunately.
But your purpose, you can't. Your purpose is given to you. I think I hear you with the destiny, but I feel like everybody has a purpose,
Yes.
and I feel like you're born with that purpose.
Yeah, so, sometimes you're lucky enough to know it at a young age. Sometimes you realize it later on. Yeah, so it's things like that. That's, you must look at, let's say, for example, I wanted to be an air traffic controller when I was doing grade 6. Because I used to see a lot of planes, a lot of things. I
also want to fly.
No, I never want to fly a pilot first, no? Hey, then I watch a lot of movies. And now I was saying, America, there are air crashes, this and that. I'm like, damn,
I don't want to fly no
You see? And then I was like, no. Who controls these things? Where's the road? All those kind of things, like, what? How?
So you were like, can't you why the place crash?
You get now, and then they said, and then they said, no, there are air traffic controllers, there are airlines. The airline is the road, so they coordinate those people, turn right and left, they analyze the weather, and all those kind of things. I was like, so that I would curb that high number of plane crashes. I'll be an air traffic controller. And then I did my research. Actually, in South Africa, we have the safest airline. In South Africa, we have the safest airline.
Like the control system?
Yeah, the control system. Have you ever? I don't know how many years.
I've never heard of a plane crash.
Yeah, you have never. You've never. You get like.
Because that's immediately what I thought.
We have the safest airline. So immediately when I saw that, I was like, hey, I don't want to overcrowd where it's already proper. I'd like to think those people who are in there will develop proper and develop it to a bigger thing.
That was actually very wise of you.
That's like a better thing. And then I've always knew that I'm very curious. I like things. I like to know. I like to experience. I like to indulge. I'm that guy. I was like, science is good for me. Now, with science, I at home then say, are you gonna be a doctor? I'm like, medical doctor. And I'm like, but guys,
that wanted me to be a lawyer.
and I'm like, and I'm like, but guys, do you understand that I don't like seeing blood? Like genuinely, I don't like seeing blood. I don't like being in that frail position that hey would always say on internet. No, I don't want to be in that position. You know, I don't really do well in receiving sympathy. I don't know, it's just me, but like I don't really do well in that. You see, so it's things like that. And then I was like, me, I'm curious. I like things. If I could tell you the things that I used to do in child and look at me now and say what happened, I'm like, ish, it's that thing, curiosity at the time. I enjoyed the moment, felt it, but I was like, do I really want to do this in the long run? No. You get, I was real with myself. That this is not the one. This is not the thing that I want to do. You know. Then, like I said, it goes back to then when I remember when we were working with my grandfather back home, my grandfather used to teach me a lot of things like plants and all those kind of things. Then I looked at myself, I was like, hey, on this traditional medicine thing, it's not popular. Nah? Then I went and look for that thing, and then I was typing that on Google. I was doing grade 11 at the time. I wanted to apply. I was fighting, and then I found traditional medicine in UWC because that's how I found UWC. Yeah, that's how I found UWC. And then they say traditional medicine in corner in UWC. But then when I wanted to apply, they said at the time they are cancelling the program and all those kind of things, right? So now I went to look at the book guide. What do we do there? Then I found love in the career that I'm doing. It's conservation biology. So conservation is very nice, and I link it to my daily life, the surroundings, and that's what I use to analyze life, to analyze society, because I always treat all of us as animals. Mammals, reptiles, we're animals, all of us. It's just that,
which means we have an ecosystem.
You get what I mean? You get. So there is a life cycle, there is a chain. We need this, we need that. Then I was like, okay, what's happening in South Africa? Then I realized in South Africa, there's a lot of crises in that side of nature. We are not taught enough. Like, for example, when you grow up, they say you must kill the snake. That's not like, they say you must kill the snake. Why are you killing the snake? What has it done to you? And then there are those days that kill chickens. Of course, we are mosh. We are mosh, you see. It happens, you get angry, kill those snakes, you know. But like, there are snakes that they help your yard. They clean rodents for you. They eat these things. They do this for you without you knowing. And you ask yourself, hey, I've never seen this thing, but I've seen it there by my neighbor.
Are you saying in order, I'm just trying to understand. So in order for you to like stay on the process, you just keep linking, like you have to be realistic in order to fall in love with the process. So I feel like that's a good way. I feel like we as young people are also more realistic than the people before us. Like, they think that, I feel like a lot of old people have the misconception that young people are unrealistic. I think they mistake ambition for being unrealistic. Because, like, what I would say, like, we did say that we'll touch on, like, the concept of relationships and things like that. So, like, I feel like relationships is where you see that young people are more realistic than older people, because I feel like there's a conception that like young people are scared of love, or they scared to commit, or whatever the case is, but most of the time
they call it love in the age of Wi-Fi.
But most of the time you'll find that young people, when you ask them why they not getting married young or why they're not having kids or whatever, it's because they say, no, I want to be proper, I want to build myself up, I want to get certain things first. So I feel like being realistic is very important for all people. And I feel like that's also where a lot of young people go wrong. Because if you to be realistic is a lot of people think that being realistic is a general thing also. It is very difficult because a lot of people think that being realistic is like a blanket thing. Like if we're in this room and we're talking about something, I can say to you all, be realistic. But our circumstances are not the same. So you need to be realistic with yourself. And that is hard because maybe you want to make your family proud, or maybe you want to impress certain people,
Or for
whatever reason, you doing things that you know, but God, this is not for me.
You see,
So,
like I say, right?
Realistic now, purpose.
because also sometimes you might be good at something early. Like all of us at some point might have thought we are gonna be professional soccer players, but some people are like 35, still going to training, say no, I'm going to be a soccer player. I understand, like, yeah, you're passionate, but my guy, it's gone. So that's the thing about being unrealistic. Being unrealistic will take you away from your purpose. Because I always think of that dude in the Bible. What is that dude that got swallowed by the whale? Jonah, thank you. You see Jonah now? All of them, even that guy that was meant to go and he was meant to go do something. And he said, I'm not going to do this. And then he ran. And then he sits in the whale now. But he didn't sit in the whale forever. He sat in there for 40 days, 40 nights, until he was realistic and said, no, but Kotwa, I need to do this thing. That's the only way that I'm going to get, that's the only way I'm going to get out of the whale. So when I think about being realistic, that's how I see it. If you are unrealistic with yourself, you'll go down a path that's far away from your purpose, and then you'll end up in a whale. Some people die in the whale, other people at least come back.
I remember, like I said,
Don't end up in the whale, young people.
like I said, about the inner child. The inner child acts as a reality check. Inner child is the one that reminds you why you're doing it from the very first place. Because as much as you are doing it for other people, but like, do you like what you're doing? Because that's why we end up with teachers who are very impatient, teachers who are not informative, teachers who
that say that thing of whether you fail or not, I still get paid.
That's not the point. Because the fact that they don't want to listen to you.
Imagine you're saying whether you go to jail or not, I still get paid.
But
My guy.
you get, but you do.
Hey, but it's not. That's not the correct mindset to have, because even if you play sports, imagine your favorite soccer team is in the finals, and then they ask the captain there, so what do you think? And he says, whether we win or lose, I get paid. I get my bonus. You'll be like, but Kota, this guy is not meant to be here. So I hear you, definitely.
So it goes back to what I was saying. Like, it's simple things, man. I don't know who's wrong. It's us. When I'm saying it's us, I'm thinking like the current university students, and then it's the professionals, of which is the teachers, the nurses, the what, nah? And then it's the learners. Hey, okay, not forgetting the parents, because even the parents.
I feel like a parent. That would be a different episode. Family is a different episode.
But like,
family is a different episode. I'm gonna have to wrap up soon, nah? So, before we do closing, all of that, I just want to put out something general that I thought about, because me, my guy Farai, H, all of us, like what we did before we started this podcast now, we recommended podcasts to each other that we watch, like personally, nah? Just so that we all get a sense of the type of podcast that the other person watches, nah? But then what I did also with the Arts of Improvement, I watched the first episode, I watched the second episode, because like when you're learning, you have to rewatch something. Like, I didn't understand that when I was younger, but my mother's like, if you want to get better at speaking or writing, you have to read what you write. You have to listen to yourself, because a lot of people don't like to read their own work or listen to their own voice. But that's how you have to improve in these things. So I would always watch back and I'm like, I shouldn't have done this. I should have done this. Nah? So I want to ask you now, firstly, what podcast do you listen to? I don't know. This is kind of everyone, just so we get more. What podcast do you listen to? But more importantly, because also the people watching that want their input, what podcast do you all listen to? And also, what makes a good podcast for young people? What's lacking in podcasts? So this closing outro is just on podcasts. Yeah.
When it comes to podcasts, I don't really think I have that one distinct one. I don't think I have one. But
have a few.
Yeah, but like, genuinely, like, there are very few podcasts we have in South Africa. And like, I don't really want to dwell more in other podcasts that we see in other countries, because at the end of the day, we don't really.
Mac G is like. Mac G is like. Mac G is probably like because when people watch other podcasts, they're like, oh, so you Mac G and you Ban. It's like they relate your podcast to
They're
that
the part.
podcast. Yeah.
So
But I mean, so we see all those things that like McG, they don't. I think they don't realize what McG is doing. McG is not no longer just a podcast; it's a network.
Hey, he is. Yeah.
Now, like. So now
I don't want us to focus too much on McG because
no, I'm just saying. Good say that's the podcast that I watch. Like I'm that generic. I don't have a specific one. I'm that generic that I feel like if I want to listen to a podcast, of course I go to the Chillers network. I also watch Sizwe Mpofu and hear those politicians. Open chats. Open chats is very interesting. You get to see other sides of the youth in particular on how they view world, and you realize that the environment that you grow up in really shape the way you think and the way you view other people, the sentiments and all those kind of things. So yeah, it's those three for me. Those three.
No, I think it's interesting, your podcast choices, because they're three like very different ones, nah? And I think also like when I saw other people's podcasts, like the cameramans, all that, it speaks to a certain part of you, nah? But the reason why we have multiple is because you want different elements. So that's what I feel like podcasts are lacking, or like what would make this podcast a successful podcast, nah? Or what I would appreciate in podcasts, nah, is range. Like we always speak of this thing of range. Like, yes, like you see, that's why I like certain podcasts like that are very well blended. Like you see what is this thing? The Pivot podcast. Like I like podcasts where yes, we can be funny, yes, we can be serious, yes, we can, because now you kind of limiting your audience because they're gonna be like, if we go to you, we know what we're coming for. But like you must be able to blend everything. So I feel like that's the real art of podcast.
And also
The podcast should be able to start discussions. They must start discussions.
Interactive.
Yeah, in a sense that I would say no. What the most controversial thing that I would say? You get like say something controversial thing, then start a topic. You know, by doing that, you get to hear different opinions, different views, and then you understand it's just a small thing. This is what it does. You see, so the power of words, the power of the network, and your intention.
The power of the brand. What they have been saying.
Of course.
Chow Life. This is a very special episode. I'd like to say, informative episode. Very interesting episode. It's always good to have associates, executives, Chow Life members around. So my brother Gold, I want to thank you for coming. Shout out to Big Boa. She was here. We had some issues earlier, so the next episode will be a special episode to Boa. I think in that one, I feel like we really focused on the feed the youth, the uplifting side, this side. I think Boa's episode, we speak more into Chow Life because she's the head of administration, director of administration. So we'll go more into
the next big creator, by the way.
Check her out, Big Boa.
On Instagram.
The biggest Boa. Because we have Chow Life Tourism coming, guys. I can't wait for that. But we have events. The logo is almost done. The Chow Life logo is almost done. Thank you to my lawyers. They know themselves. We are about to officially register the Chow Life Association as a formal business, formal company. SARS, if you're watching this, I did not say that. So, guys, a lot of great stuff are coming. Also, there's even might be a magazine coming. There's a lot coming. I feel like I said this in the first episode. Say this whenever you ask me. Chow Life is big. There's a lot coming. But my brother Gold, I want to say thank you for being on this journey. Thank you for coming through. I don't know if there's anything on your side.
Nothing.
Just
your boy Gold. Breaking the mold. Remember that.
Chow Life. Thank you. Blowing smoke here in our podcast. Oh, that shit's still recording.